Welcome back, boys and girls. In Chapter 10, Kingsley is reminded by Warmth to follow the straight and narrow path that will eventually lead him to the Mount of Liberation, where his heavy burden will finally fall away. However, before that, he is instructed to stop at the House of Perception on the way. He promises he will show him important truths about the good king that will strengthen him for the journey. At Perception's house, Kingsley is welcomed warmly and shown two powerful lessons: the Good Shepherd paintings and his extreme love for his people, and the brothers' story, Calm and Storm. The lesson for Kingsley is clear. Each day he must choose which master to serve. Kingsley leaves the room determined to be more like Calm, patient, temperate, and kind, and not to give in to his lower desires like Storm. However, Perception is not done showing him lessons. He has one final lesson to learn. What will it be? Join me and let's find out in Chapter 11.
Journey to the Eternal Kingdom. A Young Christian's Pilgrimage. Chapter 11. Can anyone escape Gamer's Paradise? Perception left the room and motioned for Kingsley to follow him into another chamber, one that seemed to open into a gigantic room. Kingsley was wondering to himself,
"Where is he taking me now? I thought he said he had to show me one more thing."
Still, he decided to stay close to Perception. As they entered, Kingsley realized they were in a gamer room, which to some would be considered a gamer's paradise. Televisions of every shape and size filled the room, along with gaming equipment ranging from the oldest to the most modern. Kingsley wondered why he had been brought there, for he already knew that video games were another distraction the Prince of Wickedness used to trap people. Perception walked to the center of the room, then crossed over and sat down on benches positioned like bleachers at a sporting event. The room was full of people playing various games: boys, girls, men, and women of all ages and backgrounds. Each person's screen was projected above their head for all to see.
"What is this place, and why have you brought me here?"
Kingsley asked nervously.
Look at the players in this room.
Perception replied,
Each of them once set out on the pilgrimage, just as you did. But the enemy does not willingly let go of his servants. They have been trapped here, playing out the game of life.
Kingsley studied them closely. Some players had many virtual lives left, while others had only a few. Those with fewer lives played with a desperate earnestness, unlike anything Kingsley had seen before. He pointed this out to Perception, who only motioned for him to keep watching. Kingsley then noticed golden chains tied to the ankles of each player. The other end, locked tightly, had fastened them to their game consoles. The sight made him anxious, and he questioned Perception again. Perception only pressed a finger to his lips, signaling Kingsley to remain silent. He then pointed toward a man who had just half a life left in his game.
"Is he going to die before my eyes?
Kingsley asked in fear.
If so, I cannot bear it."
Just keep watching, Kingsley.
Perception advised.
"No! Make him stop playing. Tell him he is about to run out of lives."
Kingsley cried. Unable to restrain himself, Kingsley ran to the man and pleaded,
"Good sir, can you not see that you are running out of lives? If you continue down this path, you will die. Do you no longer desire to reach the eternal kingdom? Please, sir."
The man glanced at him and scoffed.
But it is fun. Can you not see how exciting it is? This is the thrill of the game. I cannot stop, nor do I wish to. Leave me alone. You are interrupting.
He pushed Kingsley away.
"But you will die if you continue."
Kingsley protested.
Then I will die happily.
The man replied. Shaking his head in dismay, Kingsley ran to another gamer, this one playing one of his favorite games. He tried again to warn him, but after a while the gamer too pushed him away, complaining that Kingsley was breaking his concentration. One after another, Kingsley went from player to player, desperately trying to make them see reason. Each one rejected him. Exhausted and disheartened, Kingsley finally returned to Perception. Perception embraced him gently.
I know it is disheartening, but I appreciate your care and concern. I knew it was futile, but your efforts are not unnoticed. Both I and the king value your heart.
Then Perception pointed toward a woman playing a VR game nearby.
Pay attention to her, Kingsley. She is about to face a crossroads where she must choose.
Oh no, sir, I cannot bear to watch.
Kingsley protested.
You must watch.
Perception instructed firmly. Unwilling, yet unable to look away, Kingsley fixed his eyes on the woman's screen. She had just finished slaying a dragon and still had more than half her life intact. As she waited for the next stage to begin, a character appeared on her screen and spoke to her avatar. Suddenly, the woman dropped her controller, pulled off her VR goggles, and looked around in astonishment. The moment she removed her visor, she began to age rapidly. The young woman who had been chained to her console now appeared to grow older before their eyes, at least before the eyes of Kingsley and Perception. She stopped aging around 40 years old. To 9-year-old Kingsley, who had just seen her as a young adult moments earlier, it was shocking. The woman staggered and nearly collapsed, but one of Perception's workers caught her and helped her stand. She began to cry softly as they led her out of the room. Kingsley sat stunned, his mouth hanging open. Finally, he turned to Perception, who patiently waited for him to absorb what had happened.
That, my young friend,
Perception explained,
is what happens when a person realizes the time they have wasted, living for themselves rather than doing the work the master called them to do. The chains can hold a person only as long as they allow themselves to be bound. The good king places messengers within the game to help pilgrims, but many refuse to listen or be counseled. In her case, she finally listened. The moment she obeyed, her chains were broken. But the wasted years have taken their toll. She lost precious time serving her own desires rather than the will of the Father King. Still, though older, she can begin anew and work for him.
Perception motioned toward the man Kingsley had tried to warn earlier. The man had now lost his last life and wandered the room restlessly, searching for another game. He tried persuading others to give up their places, but when none did, he drifted toward the console abandoned by the woman. With a shrug, he strapped on the gear and resumed play as though it were nothing. Kingsley watched in horror as the chains that had fallen from the woman slithered like a living thing across the floor, coiling themselves around the man's ankle. He remained oblivious, absorbed in the game.
That is enough for today.
Perception said, watching Kingsley gape in disbelief like a fish out of water.
Did he?
Kingsley began.
Yes, he did.
Perception answered, as if reading his thoughts.
So he doesn't?
Kingsley tried again.
No, he does not want to try again, nor does he care to.
Perception replied gravely.
What will become of the woman?
Kingsley asked.
With our help, she can begin her journey once more toward the eternal kingdom.
Oh, good.
Kingsley sighed with relief.
Will the Good Shepherd go with her again?
Yes,
Perception assured him.
this is his promise to all his pilgrims. Be strong and of a good courage, fear not, nor be afraid of them. For the Lord thy God, he it is that goes with you. He will not fail you, nor forsake you. Deuteronomy 31:6.
Taking Kingsley by his hand, he led him out of the room.
I wonder where he is taking me now?
Kingsley wondered, but followed along humbly.